There may be some homes you really want to avoid buying and don't realize it. So we're going to take a look at the homes in Boise, Idaho you might just want to hold off on buying.
We're going to explain the types of homes you need to avoid, where they are located in Boise, and give you some major insights on what you need to look out for when buying a home here. So you don't buy a home and later on regret it, or worse, find out you have some major issues to deal with.
Buying a home is usually one of the most important decisions you make, and oftentimes you are going to end up selling that home to one day buy another one.
The type of home you buy is going to affect this. If you buy some of the homes we're going to talk about, it can really affect when you sell your home later on and seriously hurt the value, or it can cause headaches and very large bills you just were not expecting while you're living in your new home.
We're going to specifically focus on Boise, although most of these will apply to everyone, but it should especially help those of you buying in the Treasure Valley. We're going to start off with homes that are going to be in the wrong location.
Everyone has heard the golden rule in real estate: location, location, location. But we are talking about something a little bit more specific in this scenario. The location does not need to be an A+ location. You can buy in a B or even some C locations and be making a good decision, especially for your first home. But there are some locations that you really should avoid.
Yeah, these would be areas like major roads or near railroad tracks. If you're looking at homes maybe backed up to I-80 in Boise, or the railroad tracks in Nampa, or even the ones in Meridian and parts of West Boise, these are going to be homes that just don't bring in the buyers that a home a few blocks over will bring in when you go to sell your home later on. The lower price of the home like this might tempt you to buy, but it is not worth it when you go to sell that later on.
We see it all the time where subpar locations like this don't appreciate in value as much, and it is the #1 feedback from buyers looking at these types of listings. And I would say it isn't just busy roads, but some of the less desirable parts of town, or even some of the sloped hillsides in the valley in Boise. Mudslides and erosion aren't as common, but it has happened. Some of you might remember a few years back when some Boise foothills homes fell off the hillside.
Yeah, and I saw the other day someone is starting the process of actually building on those same lots that the homes eroded away, which is just crazy to me.
Yeah, they might end up building, but I don't know if many people will trust that and want to buy there with this history.
Yeah, I wouldn't, and thankfully it isn't common in Boise. And on the point of bad areas, we all know as locals some of the areas around downtown Nampa and Caldwell, or parts of West Boise and Garden City, can be places to stay away from. These are areas that are more run down, the crime rates are higher, and it is old areas that developments and new hotspots won't be coming to these areas. But there's a location we will talk about later that has to do with something else you will want to stay away from that is a little bit harder to pin down as far as a location goes.
Yep, and before we get into those, my name is Jesse Taff and this is Brady Fagel. We are local real estate agents that want to provide you with up-to-date information on the Treasure Valley so you can buy and sell your homes with confidence, or just feel up to speed.
Yeah, so reach out to us anytime, text, call, or email us if you have any questions. We're here to help, and we look forward to meeting you in person.
Now, the second home to stay away from is a little bit obvious at first, but we are going to take a look at the specific areas and things to watch out for. And we're talking about old homes. These are homes that are 50, 100+ years old. And I said it was obvious because if a home that old hasn't been renovated since it was built, you obviously know not to buy it, or be prepared for a big overhaul in the near future.
Yeah, I don't even know if some of those would still be standing. And yes, the ones we were talking about are homes that old that have been cosmetically renovated, so they look to be nice and new. Maybe there's a new roof with new appliances in the kitchen. It might even have brand new floors, HVAC, and windows. But where the problems come in is the structure, the plumbing, and electrical. And that's where a lot of those issues are gonna come in.
Yeah, you want to stay away from lead and galvanized pipes. They'll cause you all kinds of problems. They might turn your toilet red, start leaks, and cost you a fortune to replace. The other hazard is old electrical systems, especially knob and tube or fuse-based electrical systems. These are expensive fixes.
Yeah, this is exactly why having a good home inspection is key, and why you should not let the charm of historic homes in the North End or in downtown Meridian trick you into buying. These issues, along with some homes that might still have asbestos tiles in some of these old homes and asbestos insulation, are a huge problem that you definitely want to avoid.
Another issue with older homes is the way they are built. Oftentimes they have extremely low ceilings, especially in the basement, and I know you don't even fit into some of these basements.
No, yeah, I'm 6'6", and I do not fit, and I wouldn't buy a home like that, along with many others. So it sticks to that same theme where we don't want to buy a home that later on is going to limit the number of buyers that are willing to buy that when you go to sell.
Which leads us into the next category, and that is high-end upgrades and customized homes. This is homes with a custom aquarium or a fancy backyard that requires tons of landscaping and upkeep. People don't want to buy homes with lots of work involved, and it can limit the amount of buyers again.
Yeah, you might find some people that really want that, but in general, it will hurt the home value later on. And another one of these is gonna be installed audio and specialized stereo systems in your house. That's another one that is not gonna bring in the amount of buyers later on, and it's not gonna add value to your home. And on this same topic, one that is really specific to Boise is swimming pools. We don't live in Arizona or California where an in-ground pool is a major selling point. Here it is more of a hassle for most people. And we see it every once in a while where someone spends $100,000 on a pool and it actually hurts the process of selling the home later on.
Even if you're not buying a home like this, it is good to point out that if you are renovating your home or thinking of adding on anything, try to stay away from customized upgrades, especially if you know you plan to sell your home one day. Comment below if you're thinking of doing renovations and what they are, and we will respond whether or not that will hurt or help the value of your home.
Yeah, and the next one is flood zones, but not the obvious flood zones. If you are buying a home along the Boise River or out along Lake Lowell, you know what you are buying. With these, we're talking about 100-year and 500-year flood zone. These are homes that are unlikely to flood and can add some extra flood insurance you don't need to be paying.
The extra flood insurance is less than ideal, and it is very likely you can find a similar home not too far away that doesn't have this issue. Places along State Street and Highway 44 are going to have little pockets of these, and you can likely find a home on the other side of the street that avoids this.
Yeah, and the last one is similar to older homes, and that is going to be homes that have been flipped. Oftentimes these are older homes, but there is a difference because some flippers are either inexperienced or they're trying to make as much money as possible, and they do a poor job with the renovations.
A good way to check for this is to look for anything cosmetic that you can see with your eyes. If you see tiling is crooked or baseboards are uneven, the cabinets have gaps, anything that is just not done well, it is a sign that the things you can't see, like plumbing, floor, insulation, or the roof, are not done well either. Try and stay away from these, and know that if you are using an FHA loan, they won't allow you to purchase most flipped homes for this exact reason. If you do buy a flipped home, ask the seller for receipts and names of contractors so you can check and see if they're licensed and have done good work before.
And I actually had clients this happened to where originally we were FHA, and even though it was a cosmetic flip and there was no issues, we had to switch them over to a conventional loan to end up buying the house. Most of the areas in the valley you are going to run into this is going to be in downtown Nampa, Caldwell, and Meridian, and then parts of the Bench, West Boise, and around downtown. Other than that, there will really only be a few homes here and there in the newer subdivisions. And right now there's a unique thing happening in the rental market in Boise where it might be smarter to wait and buy for some of you. So check out this video here where me and Jesse go through the rental market, who should be taking advantage of renting, and what some of these big changes are. Thank you all for watching, and we look forward to meeting you guys in person.